Alright, so right off the bat... Ooh, we had a really low roll on the casual clothes price. That's a little unlucky, but there is some pretty decent equipment in the shop early. It's all pretty expensive, though. Looks like just opt for a weapon, and we have Killer Doll to start. Not the best, but a red soul it is. So, the main thing to note about this preset for this tournament is that it's a Panther first seed, which means that the first blue candle that we get will have Black Panther, which is the probably most powerful movement soul in the game, and as you can see, Kuchiri is picking it up there. Gonna drop a quick save as well. Spades already flying ahead onto Creaking Skull. Now this boss is actually not randomized. Creaking Skull, Manticore, not randomized in the randomizer. Kuchiri opting to go forward here in a chapel, while Spades goes to do this check, not getting rewarded for it, only finding a little bit of money. This Manticore fight is pretty easy, regardless of what equipment you have. Generally, it can be a little annoying if you're still on just knife, but it's pretty simple early boss, and we can actually, oh, is this Malphus? Wow. So that's a good decision by Kuchiri. Now usually you want to use an overhead swing to break the ceiling, but you can break it with the hitbox of Panther, and getting rewarded with a little fruit for our efforts. And now that we have Malphus, actually, he can, we can go up here and do these checks. Little sketchy with these gargoyles. Oh, and into the Quetzalcoatl taking a lot of damage. This is pretty scary, honestly. You can die really easily, and we are very close to doing just that. It's gonna be a bit of a slog to get through here normally. Usually, you can take a lot of damage, kind of brazenly dashing through with Black Panther for a lot of the early game, especially if you run into a late game area earlier. You can take a lot of damage really fast, but making it back to the save point, they're gonna be fine. Not gonna be a big problem. Meanwhile, Spades has already found Flying Armor and a Rush Soul, which are helpful for multiple reasons. Usually the Rush Souls are very good DPS for most of the bosses in the game, if not all of them, and also can be a way to get one of the checks in Waterfall. Kuchiri picking up Gravekeeper and Malphus in Chapel. Pretty stacked. Scimitar. I actually don't know if that's even better than the S-Stock or not, but having equipment that you find to sell early in the seed is never bad. Gonna pick up these hallway checks that are unlocked with Malphus. See where this entrance leads to. Having to fight the zombie officer, actually a little bit intimidating. And that's Undine in that yellow candle. Now that can unlock progression, I believe, at several points. I still don't have all of the points at which it unlocks progression memorized, usually because I just get Skula anyway. Skula or Flight before, but... So we actually have like quite a bit of different findings from the racers. They've taken quite a bit of different paths, and ooh, the potato pancake's only it's pretty expensive, but that is a very good healing item. So, but you really don't want to sell it. Picking up some decent equipment from the shop. This will help a lot. just from... It's good to have good defensive equipment in the early game, and in the late game, honestly, to just allow you to have a little bit more fast and free movement. The name of the game is speed after all, but it can be really dangerous if you are dashing around the castle with low-level equipment. Now, funnily enough, Kuchiri, 5 minutes in, only just now approaching Creaking Skull, which we know leads to some interesting things, such as a Rush Soul and flying armor. Spades now taking their own run through Chapel on the Manticore fight. They're pretty well equipped for this, so shouldn't be too scary, even though they've taken a little bit of damage. Gonna opt to pick up the orb, which is fine. There's a save room to the right as well, but it doesn't matter now. Kuchiri's actually going in the garden here. It's always nice to find garden early, because if you have Malphus, you can just grab every check, and there's a lot of checks in garden, and they're usually pretty good, pretty valuable checks usually. Sometimes it can be a miss, but for the most part, generally a rewarding path to take. They can also be a little bit dangerous, but we have Demon's Mail, so should be completely fine. And there's the book! So, I actually didn't explain it, but of course the way this randomizer works is that we are trying to go for the true ending, and the way you attain the true ending is by collecting the 3 books to find out which souls you need to equip during Phase 2 of Graham, equipping those souls during the fight, getting past Phase 2, and that will unlock your path to the true ending of the game where you fight Julius and Chaos. Whereas typically, if you did not have those souls equipped and you beat Graham, you would just get a ending. There. I believe that's a... is that a... I forget which weapon's right, if it's Milkins or Graham or just a random sword. All those swords tend to look the same to me, they're just gray sword sprite. It's Gladius. And that is a Mind Up. Those are really useful, especially if you have pretty much any good red or blue Rush Souls. Generally those will allow you to do the best damage if you can have any kind of intelligence. A little bit of a Warhammer pickup. Now, you can opt to skip a lot of checks when they are just equipment or small things that you might not need, but early on it can be good to pick everything up due to the randomized prices, and also that also wow, vanilla garden exit and entrance. When you defeat certain bosses, it actually updates the items that are in Hammer's shop, and they're and Spades is actually taking a bit of a route here with the Skula, doing the Skula routes early. That's a Vijaya! I'm actually not sure what weapon they have equipped at the moment, but Vijaya, nothing to scoff at this early into the run. And Kuchiri's just clearing out these corridor checks. I'm not sure if they have a way to get this candle. You can get that candle through the wall with any projectile soul that goes through walls, or if you just have a weapon that's big enough, you can Malphus up to it and hit it. Oh, trying to do it with the hammer, but it's just a little bit slow. Yeah, they do have Legion, but it seems like Kuchiri is unaware if that will connect or not. Oh, that's a bit unfortunate. Maybe they'll oh, they're just waiting for MP right now, it seems. So it seems like they are aware and they will get it. Manticore. Wow, that is one of the best souls. It does an insane amount of damage. It is extremely good. definitely something you want to see. He's taking a bit of damage, opting to use healing early, trying to get through this absolutely perilous room that this can be with the devil. Taking the warp back to the beginning now. And Kuchiri finds Forbidden, but Kuchiri has not picked up the Skula. Or no, they picked up Skula, did they not? It's not on the tracking. Maybe they haven't found it yet. Oh no, they picked up Undine instead, which Spades just picked up. But we actually know where Skula is. The game moves so fast that I have forgotten where Skula was, but do have access to it, and you could do those checks in Forbidden. They're pretty complex and out of the way. So I believe the way that the randomizer is weighted, you tend to get more rewarded for complex checks like Forbidden, since they're so out of the way. So that could be a play to make. And certainly Spades at some point will find. Yeah, that's right. Kuchiri did not do every chapel check, so they missed the Skula that was present there. Might affect their routing majorly. We could see a bit of a cut in the way that they path through the game, because that Skula can make a big difference in pathing generally. Yeah, Spades is definitely zooming ahead here. Little tasty meat. Great little healing item to pick up. Opts to go down there and pick up that those gym clothes. Not sure how rewarding it would be. And this is the top floor dead end. So gonna have to find the other way to top floor somewhere else. There's a couple of exits in the entrance randomizer that are basically dead ends. And that is really funny. Spades, you know, I don't know if if they forgot about that check. That can happen sometimes. But they ran into it with Black Panther and saw the little effect, and then they came back and hit it, and that actually ended up having a book, which is really funny. Looking top floor as well, so Spades is on a fast track to accelerate in this seed. Having found top floor and garden, which are the, you know, those are the two most important places to remember / find for endgame progression. As Graham is located in top floor, and once you have the required souls, you basically go there to start finishing the game. But going through quarters now. Wow, that Mana Prism drop is, I don't know the percentage on that, but I think that's extremely low. Isn't it like less than 1% or 1%? And that's an instant reset on that Legion. No thank you for now. Now I don't think Spades did any of the top floor checks. I think they just sped through, right? So oh, I see, I'm blind. For some reason on the tracker I saw the flying armor as Giant Bat. My eyes are no good. Quarters into quarters is very sick. Now Kuchiri is currently fighting death, and this fight, you know, Kuchiri currently doesn't have the best equipment, using an S-Stock still, but we do have Manticore. But it can be hard to get off maximum damage with that. There is a way you can get the scythe to stick in the bottom left corner against the wall and permanently run into it with Manticore and just blaze it down, but can be a little bit difficult to set up. And this is looking pretty dangerous. Might end up taking a death here. One more hit of the scythe, and oh, that was a disgusting mini scythe spawn as well. That was really unfortunate. That can happen in this game. It can be very punishing. Death Phase 1 is the hard form? True. Actually based and true. Lock Punch. What a great weapon to find. I think that would actually be better than what they're using right now, maybe? But it's really difficult to use as well, and honestly not worth thinking about. But if they do defeat death, they do, of course, progress the shop, and you could get some sick equipment from that. So that is something to think about. Always something to think about with the value of checks in terms of equipment and items, because even though you only need a couple of the movement gray souls and some blue souls and the required souls, all of the equipment and items, because of the randomized price, can be very valuable in terms of speed and safety and strategy in general with how the shop works with the shop randomizer. So always something to think about. Using the Manticore is Spades to do the waterfall check and pick up the red book. I believe we've seen all three books. I think we saw a blue book from Kuchiri, unless I'm mistaken. I might be crazy and colorblind. Kuchiri's headed up into garden here. If Barrick says we didn't see blue, then we probably didn't see blue. I trust Barracks with my life. Oh! Spades getting stuck in the box and sleeping to reset the room. What the heck was that? That was scary. Smart, and actually like very smart to instantly realize what happened and to reset the game. I've never seen that before. That clip into the box, but I mean, yeah, that was honestly crazy to adapt and reset the game that fast. They only thought about it for a few seconds before deciding to sleep out of the room. Very good awareness, but that box clip is very interesting. I've never seen that before. Not sure what consequences that has on anything. Oh, and a spoiled milk for the effort. That's very unfortunate. Kuchiri currently managing their inventory at the shop. Picking up the ancient belt. This is a decent accessory to have when you currently have nothing. We picked up the red soul, the required red soul for Spades. Now you can pick up every required soul out of a candle. However, if you might have noticed, when they check the required soul in the item menu, it shows a secondary enemy name, and that is because you can also opt to farm for the souls from the enemies that have been randomized to drop them, and the books will inform you what enemy that is. And now Kuchiri is picking up that Skula that they missed in Chapel. Might be kicking themselves a little bit for dipping out of Chapel before picking that up. Especially since they picked up Malphus there as well. But now that they have access to Skula, if they make the decisions necessary, they could catch up to Spades very quickly. Oh. Now this Headhunter fight is, the first two phases, generally, if you have equipment, very easy. The third phase can be... Oh, great armor! Honestly, not a bad blue. But yes, that fight can be a little bit tricky if you don't have super good equipment, but Spades not having any kind of problem whatsoever. Kuchiri doing this Undyne check. And is that going to be Hippogriff? It is! And that is Flight for Kuchiri. And that is really huge. As well as Curly, but it doesn't really matter. Now heading down here into this part of the map is going to be very beneficial for Kuchiri. In terms of their routing, they definitely can rocket ahead here. It's going to be very unfortunate that Spades missed that Hippogriff in the Undyne check. Spades just did not do the check, unfortunately. They did have Undyne, but I think they just opted to... Or actually, I think they came at it from the opposite way and just weren't thinking about it. Which I understand, because I think if you come in from the right there, you might not immediately recognize that check, usually coming in from the left. So just a bit unfortunate. Could end up being fine. They get lucky, find a bat somewhere. Kuchiri is absolutely going to war with these fish heads. They are a menace. A battle of attrition. I could be mistaken. I do know that Kuchiri found Undyne before Skula, and then they found them in opposite orders. So it could be possible that they did not have that at the time. Honestly, the runners are in a very similar position, but having Hippogriff makes a big difference in the kind of decisions that you're going to make. And Spades is probably not going to be thinking about that check. So they're going to need something big to make up for the fact that they have missed Hippogriff. Still possible that they can just find Giant Bat somewhere, but Kuchiri is covering much of the same part of the castle as Spades has, so not sure how likely that is because Kuchiri's routing options open up extremely. Little sneaky Galamoth there with the Nightmare. Galamoth is an interesting soul in that it only opens up a single check, but it is a check that is locked behind Galamoth. I actually don't know what the weight on the possibility of that being in logic required is, but it can happen. I've seen it. Book 3. But I believe that is a copy for Kuchiri. I think they already had a book 3, if I'm not mistaken. The screen is currently very blue, very underwater, covering much of the same check. This is really interesting how similar. The runners are playing, but there's just these small differences that are going to make a very, very big impact in the coming minutes. The differences in the book acquirement and the differences in having flight and not. Now, of course, there's multiple copies of the book, so if Kuchiri decides to go somewhere that is flight locked and does happen to find that book anyway, it could end up being a boon for them. The 3 required souls are Mandragora, Gorgon, and I don't think we've checked the blue book yet, so I don't think we actually know what it is. I think Spades just picked it up or Kuchiri just picked it up and did not look at it, so I don't think we actually know. They might have menued past it very fast. It's Witch. The required soul is Witch from Maneater, which we already have. So I believe Kuchiri actually has all 3 of them unknowingly. Maybe they don't have Gorgon? I can't quite remember. But they have at least 2 of the required 3 souls, that's for sure. Now Spades is opting to do the forbidden checks here. And like I said before, you know, these are pretty far out of the way, and so they can be rewarding, but it's also a pretty big commitment. If you go here and don't get rewarded, it's a pretty big investment of time. Now Kuchiri is clearing out these checks here, and I believe he's going to grab the book at the bottom, and that's an Excalibur, and that is very nice to see. Wow. And so Kuchiri is gonna be set to go here. All we need is our yellow, I believe. And oh, yeah, setting up this can be a little bit annoying sometimes. Gonna farm some MP real quick. Oh, just opts to use the MP healing. That's fair, that's completely acceptable. But they actually did not stand far enough to the left, so they were not able to make it through. You actually do need the momentum to be almost at max, I believe. And to do that, you have to stand pretty close to the left wall. So that's unfortunate that they invested the MP healing, and they're gonna have to gather some hearts anyways. And as Kernan says, yes, they are only level 8, and that means that, you know, it's not so simple in terms of just, you know, walking up to Graham and punching him. It can be very dangerous to play at around this level. But that is the last book for Kuchiri. And now it'll be interesting to see what decisions they make from here. Having Excalibur is going to be pretty big. We do have backdash. I don't know if they are apt at using backdash cancels for Excalibur. It's a bit unwieldy, even if you are familiar with it. But definitely a very strong weapon, and very capable of killing every boss. I believe Kuchiri did check the shop after they killed... Or actually, didn't they just quit out of death? I can't remember if they went back and killed it or not. So I actually don't know what kind of fruitful rewards will come from death, but surely not progression. Very nice death fight from Spades. Pretty clean. Can't ask for much more than that. And Kuchiri turning their nose up at the spoiled milk, just not interested in that wonderful item. I'm not sure why. It's kind of a little bit rude to the milk. And there is Kuchiri picking up the red soul. Required Mandragora. I would definitely pick up the spoiled milk. It's very, very risky, but if you're a god gamer and you've got lubricant, sheesh. This is very unfortunate. Watching Spades route around to all of these checks that we've already seen Kuchiri complete, and knowing that there is not much in terms of progression to be gained from this. The missing that Undyne check is really, really gonna kick them. Kuchiri going through this headhunter fight. It's gonna be kind of a breeze with Excalibur, even though the level's not that high. As you can see, only taking 1 damage from walking into the man. And about a couple more hits. Yep, there it goes. Pretty simple when you have great equipment. This is a pretty good pace to have all of your books and most of your souls. If Spades does not find flight somewhere, we could see a very unfortunate result. It's often very hard to randomly remember checks that you've missed or decided to skip when you progress through a seed and you're expecting to find more progression. Now, having beaten death, checking the shop, there is a Durandal. Not the best. There's an Olrox, a Pitch Black. Oh, and I think... Oh, Gorgon is in the shop! That is a required soul, and it is in the shop. Oh no. Getting a little bit of that milk money, selling some of these useless weapons. And now we're looking rich, and we're going to shop, and we're buying a bunch of fruit. You're gonna really quick drop by for these gym clothes. We've already seen those. I don't actually know if Spades is aware that Gorgon is required. I think they may have forgotten. And this is just very unfortunate. The gap is only going to grow larger. It is true that Spades does still not have flight, so it isn't going to technically make a difference at the moment, but Kuchiri well on their way to being completely ready to hit the end of the seed. Heading up into top floor now. Now, top floor is always a pretty scary place. You can end up dying here even if you have good equipment. And Tsuchinoko is real. It has been acquired. Praise Tsuchinoko. Gonna warp back to the start here. Probably gonna check up on their healing situation. Now, of course, the persimmon is really cheap. And decent healing. Oh! But... okay. Kuchiri seeing that Gorgon is, in fact, in the shop, and double-checking is required. And, you know, that's just the way the cookie crumbles sometimes. It's really hard when you're in a race, especially, to be aware of everything that you need to be aware of, and you just gotta feel for Spades, you know? Spades is not playing bad by any means. Spades is playing amazingly. It's just a little bit of an awareness thing, and it's very hard to do when you're focused so much on everything that you're doing. Now, we did see Spades check the books there, so maybe they will have remembered. Yes, you can see them scrolling back over Gorgon, seeing Gorgon is required, so that likely indicates that they remember Gorgon being in the shop. And hopefully will just simply purchase it for 15,000 bucks. A great deal. Now hopefully Spades just nopes back from this arena, but no! Spades is committing to arena, and we know that this is not going to be very fruitful. But it is possible that Bad is here. That could be a saving grace. Poison Fist. Not what you want to see. Kuchiri, meanwhile, just picking up some of these flight checks in top floor. And it looks like they are just about done clearing it out. Could also be behind Galamov. Let's hope for Spades' sake that it's not. I want to see a close race. I want to see Spades do their best to come back in this race, so I'm hoping from the bottom of my heart that that is not true. Now we'll see at some point if Spades decides to actually look at their map and determine maybe if they've missed something. I know that I do that pretty often. I'm a serial map checker, and maybe they will have noticed that they have missed that check. Meanwhile, Kuchiri already starting on the Graham fight. Now, you can switch to the required souls at any point before the Phase 3 starts. Usually you'll see players switch at the beginning of Phase 2, unless you're a nerd and you count and you end up switching some arbitrary amount of time through the grand fight, but as you can see, Kuchiri just playing it safe and equipping all the required souls and double checking everything as Phase 2 starts. Now this Excalibur is putting in some work against Graham, and of course this weapon can be very unwieldy. There are certain weapons in this game that are unable to be jump cancelled and must be backdash cancelled instead, manually, and that can be pretty difficult to do and pretty difficult to control, especially when you're avoiding projectiles like this. But Kuchiri has an extremely healthy lead, so it is fine to completely play it safe. There is not a lot of pressure. It is very possible that if Kuchiri does not have total control of the weapon, that they could have a lot of trouble with Chaos. But the damage is there. Oh, and Kuchiri taking a huge hit from Graham, almost dying. Oh, jeez. Just gonna use a little bit of healing for now. And continuing to just play it safe, just staying crouched and giving Graham a couple smacks. Opts to use the Manticore, but runs into the hand twice, and oh, it's not looking good, but all of this healing is really important. Oh no! Oh, and we're still alive. Of course we have the cheap persimmons in the shop, but all of this healing can be very important for Chaos, especially if you're opting to use a weapon like Excalibur and you are not a complete god gamer able to avoid all of Chaos's attacks fluidly and perfectly. Which is not many among us. Definitely not myself. Yeah, Julius is going to be difficult as well with a slow weapon like Excalibur, without backdash cancels. Now Spades is kind of in a bit of a sour spot at the moment. It seems as though they are sort of doubling over. They're currently farming Archdemon for Gorgon, which is actually... I'm sad that I did not notice that sooner. That's really sad, because we did see Spades checking the required souls, and noting that Gorgon was required, and was like, oh, it's from Archdemon. I was hoping that it'd mean that they had remembered seeing it in the shop, but opting to farm for it instead. That is going to cost them a lot of time, and of course, we still don't see any kind of flight from Spades. You can have either Hippogriff or Giant Bat. Haven't seen Giant Bat at all this siege yet. And we know that the Hippogriff is locked behind the Undyne check. That one little hallway is going to come back to haunt Spades. Yes, I'm assuming Spades is just in the mentality of trying to keep moving forward and making progression, and just feel like that they're not stood still and kind of stun-locked by the fact that they don't have flight yet. They should probably put more consideration into it, but you know, again, it's really hard to be super composed and aware, and Spades might also be feeling some of the stress now that they have done so much and doubled over some checks several times now and still not finding flight. Kuchiri going for a Mimi Galamoth check. Gotta validate the run with the Galamoth check, of course. Trident and a Yasutsuna. Yasutsuna, not a terrible weapon. Pretty good weapon. Not sure if they'll opt to do it over, not sure if they'll opt to use it over Excalibur though. And yeah, Kuchiri is opting to do a lot of checks and fight bosses here. I don't know if maybe they forgot where Garden was, most certainly not. They might just be deciding that they're wanting XP, and fighting Legion, not a bad way to do it, honestly. And considering Spades' position right now, although they are obviously unaware of Spades' position, it is a decision that might help them, especially if they, you know, feel like they'll struggle in Chaos. And they do have Manticore, of course, but either way, using Excalibur can be very unwieldy. Oh, and seeing Spades do these long checks in Arena is very painful, knowing the reality that we're in. Again, it is still possible that they could find Bat and maybe make up some time, but... And Kuchiri deciding to farm for these levels will definitely give them an opportunity. I'm actually not sure what level Spades is right now, but they obviously have been fighting a lot more and running around a couple of areas doubled over. Oh, finding a Coward Bowler, that's not a bad weapon to have at the moment. Not gonna help for their inevitable endgame scenario, but pretty decent for getting around. Not better than the current loadout though. I might equip it anyway, just because I like putting it on and calling it Salad Bowl. And man, even with Excalibur, this level, like this Legion fight is it's a bit of a slog. Finally breaking breaking all of them at nearly once, and then the core just explodes. That's right, Khalid Bulg is very decent for Julius, due to its element. it being a dark weapon. Dark weapons generally are at a disadvantage against a lot of bosses and a lot of things, but against Julius, pretty good. Yeah, honestly, it's very interesting seeing Kuchiri continue to do these checks, and I'm not quite sure what the advantage is at this point. I'm on level 18. And actually, Spades is actually level 17, very close in XP. Looks like Kuchiri is heading back to the shop. And Spades. Wow. Finding the vat, finding their form of flight. It actually was present. They are finally able to enter top floor. And Kuchiri has spent a lot of time doing random checks and obviously fighting Legion, but having already beaten Graham, he's still got a major lead on Spades. We'll see what setup and what strategy Kuchiri opts to use when fighting Julius. Spades just now entering top 4. Gonna keep the giant bat on. It's pretty good for maneuvering around here. Again, these enemies do a decent amount of damage. Trying to go for a little blade dance there. That was interesting. Oh! It looks like Kuchiri's gonna opt for the classic backdash strat. I've seen a lot of people use this. Oh, they're mixing it up. Doing a little baby backdash cancel. And 85, it's pretty nice against Julius. Seems like if they continue to play safe like this, they should have no problem with the first phase, but Julius does do a lot of damage and he can turn things around on you very quickly. A very difficult fight to do fast. And as you can see, they're already having to use some healing. Julius just tacks on the damage very fast at times. Staying safe though, and playing back. Just reacting and backdashing, reacting and backdashing, and this is a semi-consistent way to get through Julius, no problems. Almost takes a whip hit there. That recovery of Excalibur. As Spades is partway into their phase 1 of Graham at the moment, with Calibull. Using Manticore as well to get some damage. So depending on what decisions Spades makes and the difficulty that Kuchiri will have with Chaos, we could end up seeing Spades actually make an incredible comeback. Just now equipping the souls and making sure everything is correct, which they do have them correct. Kuchiri is entering phase 2 of Julius, taking a lot of damage, doesn't have a ton of healing in the inventory. honestly, this is getting a little bit dicey. Completing Julius when having used all this healing is not going to leave that much healing left over for Chaos. And again, I expect Kuchiri to have a little bit of difficulty with Chaos using Excalibur. So there is definitely some implications here, even if they do beat Julius having used this much healing. And Spades just now completing their grand fight. Very well done. Now we'll see if Spades opts to zoom straight to Garden, and Kuchiri actually dying to Julius. But honestly, this might be for the better. Having used that much healing on Julius, you know, they're a little bit warmed up now, a little bit fresher on the fight. Maybe they'll take less damage and be a little bit more well-prepared coming out of it. But that does give Spades much more time to catch up. Julius can be a very long fight, especially if you're using a slow weapon like Excalibur. It's very hard to get the staggers off on Julius with a slow weapon. Seems like Spades is opting to path straight to Garden, if I'm not mistaken. Taking no stops in between. Yes, they're going into this Garden entrance. This is honestly going to be very exciting. Seeing Spades make this recovery, having missed that check, would be an amazing Cinderella story. Oh, and as you can see, the Persimmon does not heal a huge amount, and that is the cheapest form of healing available. Oh, and that Julius canceling the Manticore with the whip, doing so much damage. This fight can be very, very difficult, and I think even more so if you are using a slow weapon like this and just chugging through the inventory, trying to get through it. Honestly, I think I have a harder time fighting Julius than Chaos. But that's because I get really greedy. And Julius just outplays you sometimes. And oh, the big jump attack into the whip cancel! Oh no. And now we see it, both players on Julius. Now Spades, having Caligulg, is probably going to have a little bit of an easier time, honestly. Having Manticore as well. Oh, Julius is really mixing Spades up right there. This is crazy tense. Running out of healing is Kuchiri again. This is extremely tense. It seems like Spades is finding their damage windows pretty consistently and getting good damage. Is getting hit a decent amount, but you know, the faster you beat the fight, the less chance you have to get hit. Oh, and Kuchiri just trading blows is not looking good, and oh, almost takes the axe hit! That would have been another death, and Spades would have taken the lead at that moment. But Kuchiri does take down Julius just narrowly, having used a ton of healing. And again, that has heavy implications for the players going into Chaos, because Chaos can do a lot of damage very quickly and have some very difficult patterns, and that is going to cause big problems if you don't have a decent amount of healing. And Kuchiri is just gunning it, not even opting to take a trip back to the shop. I'm very curious what their plan is. I would never go into Chaos without at least a little bit. I think they only have a strawberry left, if what Barrick says is true. Meanwhile, Spades currently still going toe-to-toe with Julius, but again, not that far behind, and depending on Kuchiri's performance against Chaos, that lead could turn into an even match very, very quickly. We saw that they had a huge discrepancy against them due to the lack of flight from Spades, but able to find that giant bat, and the accessibility of the souls just brought the seed back together so quickly. And Spades completing the Julius fight very cleanly. Has enough healing here to just head straight to Chaos, I believe, and be decently fine, but Kuchiri is also opting to head straight to Chaos, so it's really going to come down to performance here. Now, Spades actually going to have a little bit of a slower movement through Chaotic Realm due to not having Hippogriff. So that is even more time that Kuchiri has, but again, it's a very scary situation, and that is a Muramasa. I wonder if we might see Kuchiri try to switch weapons into some of their other available choices from Excalibur. This is very similarly reminiscent of our race yesterday, where it seems like the seed is just going to come down to Chaos, and honestly, I love to see it, because I would have been sad seeing Spades lose from such a huge deficit from missing one random check, but just seeing racers duke it out against one of the best Castlevania bosses ever is very satisfying. Now Kuchiri's actually opting to stand still and use the healing from this soul before going over this armor, and honestly, I respect it. I respect it. You gotta play safe, but I do believe there's definitely some other choices of getting through, and doesn't even take the damage anyway. Definitely had some iframes available, but it's no big deal. And entering the save for Chaos now is Kuchiri, and this is going to be where stories are told, where legends are made, because there is not a lot of healing available here for Kuchiri, and Chaos, a notoriously difficult final boss, and my goodness, the guts to approach this with naught but a strawberry. Looks like Kuchiri is going to opt to equip the Muramasa. This is completely fine for the first phase, totally doable. But we're seeing Kuchiri is actually taking damage in the first phase, and that is going to be very difficult to contend with when Chaos can have very unpredictable patterns in the second phase. And Spades making it up to Chaos with a much better healing situation, and Kuchiri dying to phase 1. Spades now currently takes the lead due to that death, and this is an incredible race. I am on the edge of my seat right now, and Kuchiri's opting... Oh no! Kuchiri just now making the decision, it seems, to head back and go buy more healing. And this is really unfortunate. Spades seems to be doing a great job on Chaos so far, and the healing situation is much better. Oh no. Kuchiri currently having a battle to the death with this armor, and almost narrowly coming out on top. I'm not sure what the decisions are actually here. Maybe they were going for more XP, maybe trying to level up, I don't know. But Spades is entering into phase 2 of Chaos, having come back from such a deficit, and Gungnir very powerful on these eyes. This would be an unbelievable comeback, and a very interesting to look at the decision making between the racers in review to see the big difference that was made. And yes, it looks like Kuchiri is continuing to try to get level ups, and I don't know how rewarding this decision will be. You can definitely understand the desperation getting to this point at the end of the seed and just trying to eke something out to finish it. And did you see Spades' movement there? Did you see that? They were skating across the floor magnificently to the other side. What was that? That was crazy. Yeah, I don't know if Kuchiri, I feel like he could have spent this time going and attempting to purchase more healing. As minimal as it is, I believe a lot of the healing was very expensive besides the persimmon, but Spades still having a bit of healing left here and deciding now to attack the core after killing 3 eyes. Has the Manticore available, doing a clean 16 with this sword. And oh my god, these chaos patterns are absolutely rough and you can die so fast. It feels so clean half the time and then out of nowhere you can be dead in an instant. But I think Spades, they keep it clean, can very easily come out on top here. Manticore gonna do big damage to the core. Kuchiri finally decides to re-enter the Chaos fight and back on phase 1, opting now to use the Excalibur instead of the Muramasa. Meanwhile, Spades spending all of their MP healing to get these Manticore hits in, which is very helpful with the iframes and the damage. Getting hit by the orb! Oh my goodness. Is fine for now, but might land into the other one. Okay, they cut it early. Running out of MP, but still plenty more MP healing. And the core has got to be becoming pretty low. Gets hit by the orb though, no! Oh, Spades takes the orb, it takes the delayed damage. Had healing available, but just was confident that they could make it through with the Manticore iframes, but when those orbs are that close, you come out of the Manticore and get tagged and take delayed damage, and you know, obviously you can pause and heal once you see that you've been tagged, but again, it's a very stressful situation. And Spades, I can't imagine what their mentality is like currently, being this far into the race, not having flight for so long, and then making it to Chaos at the time that they did. They must have thought that they were behind at that point. And so just wanting to squeeze through and win, but I think Spades, if they play as cleanly as they did before and just continue to manage their inventory correctly, they've got this. But as we see, Kuchiri is on phase 2, continuing to use Excalibur, but every hit hurts so bad for Kuchiri. You just don't have the healing or the defense to really take these hits, and just getting blasted by these rough chaos patterns. Now, oh my goodness, and just was a little bit out of position there. You can avoid those pins by crouching in a specific spot, but just was a little bit too far to the right, or the left, sorry. The way chaos works is you have to kill each eye to basically improve the amount of damage that the real boss, the core of chaos, takes. And so you will see runners sometimes break only 3 of the eyes instead of breaking all of them. There's generally a threshold in which it's mathematically better to just hit the core, and it'll be faster. And Kuchiri going back to far more levels, you know, you really feel for them. They were playing so well this entire race, and oh my goodness, and Spades is taking a death again to Chaos Phase 2. You know, honestly, this race might as well be even. Spades, obviously in a much better situation in regards to items, and maybe you could argue weapons. Excalibur is definitely better for Chaos, but again, it's extremely unwieldy, and we can see Kuchiri is, you know, trying to push every bit of damage that they can by leveling up. But it's seemingly, I don't know if it'll be enough. It would require some extremely clean play and running back to the save and back to come farm this Shadow Knight, and oh, you know, it's just, we'll see. There's no counting Kuchiri out of this yet, even if Spades has managed to catch up in a brilliant fashion. Even if Kuchiri's healing situation is not amazing, doesn't mean that they don't have just as much of a chance. Now Spades, honestly, playing extremely clean on phase 1 of Chaos. I'm very impressed by their play. Very lovely to watch. Very nice from Spades. Now we see Kuchiri walking back up here. I'm not sure if they're going to hit the save and run back down to the Shadow Knight, or if they're going to reattempt Chaos at this point. It seems like they're going back down to the Shadow Knight. Meanwhile, Spades already very cleanly killing the first eye. Gungner very good against these ground eyes. Oh, and you can see the inputs from Spades very trying to methodically position. Gets hit by the orb, recognizes, and oh my goodness, it's just getting absolutely comboed here. This pattern is a bit ridiculous. Ugh. It can be very hard to read what's happening on the screen and react appropriately, but just Hank's healing through it, and honestly, we're looking fine. About to kill a third eye. If Chaos can just be nice for a short amount of time, gets the crouch. Perfect avoidance. Ooh, great drift back there to avoid the worm as well, and looks like we're about to kill the third eye, and I'm assuming Kuchiri will go for the same strategy as before, using Manticore. Oh, but it seems we have lost our feed from Spades. I'm not sure what happened, but it is frozen. Oh, it has resumed. Kuchiri having resumed Chaos. We'll see if they can do this, but Spades is looking in a great position right now. 3 eyes dead, Manticoring the core. Opting to use the Durandal. Just to deal with these orbs and get a couple extra hits in. But gotta stay on top of that MP. We have a lot of mana healing here, but I think it's still going to require some hits. We have not... I don't think we have any kind of imp boosting, so... And Spades is taking a bit of damage on this first phase of Chaos still, which is really disheartening. Not having the healing to tank through and adjust to Chaos's patterns in the second phase. Kuchiri doing a lot of damage to the core. This just might be it. Spades approaching victory, slowly but surely. Kuchiri back on phase 2. But Spades is playing extremely clean. Oh, and as I say that, gets tagged by the pins. It's out of MP now. Oh, and a great avoidance. And we see Kuchiri taking another death in the second phase, and it's extremely rough, and that will be Spades taking the first game with an incredible comeback from what looked like to be a doomed position, but amazing play. Amazing play from both runners, of course. Kuchiri ended up in a very desperate situation, and it can be very hard to make the decision on what to do there. That Julius draining the healing ended up playing a big part. But congratulations to Spades for taking the first game. Alright, and it looks like both runners are ready. It appears that the second race has started, but we don't have a feed on Kuchiri's game at the moment. Not sure what's going on with that, but and due to staring at that, I missed what was present in the shop, so I'm not sure what our current situation is. Ooh, and I love seeing, I always love watching this room where you punch the bones. Oh, but this armor, there we go, just walking through using the iframes. And again, yeah, we don't have a frame on Kuchiri's game at the moment. I'm not sure what the deal is. Let me... And there we go. We do have a feed on Kuchiri now. Seems like everything has been fixed. Oh, it does appear to be slightly stuck though. Maybe they are... It is adjusting. Okay, there we go. Hopefully not too big of a deal. As we've seen from the previous seed, even gigantic gaps can be crossed. So I'm assuming Spades ended up selling their both of their base equipment for something and a soul, which is why they are currently punching. Well, Melith is a nice yellow soul to have if you get any kind of good red or have a rush soul. Kuchiri picking it up as well. Very similar pathing at the moment. Oh, true. For some reason I always say them both at the same time. I don't know why. Red souls do in fact scale with strength and not int. Generally, it will be... I don't think there's usually a huge divergence at the start of these seeds unless you get some kind of progression soul early that allows you to make different routing decisions, and we haven't even seen where our exits are taking us yet, so... Oh my goodness, and Kuchiri taking a death. Running over that enemy. I'm not sure if they dropped a save or not. I know that Spades did, but... Oh, and they're hanging here on the game over screen for a bit of time. Oh, and Kuchiri unfortunately has forfeited the race. And, you know, it's understandable. Great games to Kuchiri. Obviously, a very stressful situation from the last race, and having difficulty here. You can understand how they're feeling. But respect to Kuchiri. It was a great race. And of course, that isn't the end of their bracket. There is a loser's bracket for this tournament, so Kuchiri will get another chance. But great games to Kuchiri. It was a very interesting race to watch. And they played great. Obviously good games to Spades as well. Our next, oh, Manticore. That's right. Everybody loves a good losers round. Shoutouts to Smile Fires, by the way. One of the other runners in this tournament, helping with the tracking on these races. They're very appreciated. It was a very well played seed. Up until the ending difficulties, Kuchiri. Very, very well played. Nothing to be ashamed of. That was so sick. Creaking skull. Or the, whatever that soul is called. Skull toss. Yeah, that race will be very interesting to go back and watch, I think, for you, Kuchiri. A little bit of Skula? Yeah, that's a Skula. You did make it to Chaos first. Legion. I love seeing hard resets out of Legion. Big nope. Yeah, we've seen so far in this tournament, you know, we've seen divergence in routing and divergence in progression and divergence in equipment, and at the end of the day, it's all come down to chaos. Everything has come... It's the ultimate equalizer. For chat information, our next race, which I don't think has... I don't know if it's guaranteed to be streamed or not yet, but will be me versus Croonin tomorrow at around the same time, an hour previous that this race started, 7 PM Eastern. I am very intimidated and very scared to be racing, but I'm sure it'll be fun. Nothing like a little public embarrassment. Obviously, I encourage anybody that's unfamiliar with this rando to check it out. It's really fun, and this game is great, and it's got a great rando, and it's definitely friendly to learn the current tournament preset, being Panther Seeds. It's true, entrance randomizer can be a little bit intimidating, but I think everybody should give it a try. GG's, Kuchiri. Thank you for the race. Thank you for playing. No need to apologize. You just do what's best for you. That's what's most important. At the end of the day, you gotta have fun. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm assuming... I don't know if it's fine or not to just let the stream run on the solo seed or not. I assume Spades is allowed to finish the seed. But I'm not 100% certain. Spades has to finish. Oh, that's true. Sorry for my ignorance. This is my first time commentating on SpeedGaming. First time commentating Aria. Also. I hope I did an okay job. Hope everybody had a good time. Oh, and a back out. I agree. That 6 is not looking great. I agree. This is a little bit of a rough one. A little bit of a rough one, weapon-wise. Feel free to sign up for the commentary, Nova. There is a link in the tournament Discord where you can sign up for commentary on matches. And I'm sure everybody would love to have you. I think it's always appreciated to have volunteers for commentary and tracking. Okay, I got some decent sellables. Selling that knife. Get that out of here. Good old fronting. I think this is my favorite weapon sprite in the game. It's too bad it's not the most amazing weapon. Ooh. Tasty. Yeah, but Levitane's not purple. You don't understand. Look at fronting. So beautiful. Oh, no way! That's so funny every time. Getting so much value out of Giant Skeleton. Skula is always required because there is a room in Chaotic Realm that you cannot get past without Skula. So generally, or no, just always, yeah, it's just always required. Yes, it cannot be a Buxel. That is correct. There is a multiple copies of certain things. Generally helps with the health of the scene. Mistletoe, another one of my favorite weapons. That's also unfortunately not super useful in the late game. Oh, stream went a little bonked, but it's okay. Surely it will return. That is vanilla mistletoe. You know, I've almost forgotten a lot of the vanilla locations due to playing so much Rando. Ah, it's really unfortunate that this stream is gobbling it up a little bit, but I'm sure it'll be back to normal shortly. Oh, and look at Mistletoe go. Styling on Golem with the giant skeleton as well. Honestly, despite the weapon situation, the seed is pretty cracked. The Legion location isn't that nice though. Skyfish. I always get a little bit of joy seeing Skyfish acquired. Reservoir. And a book. Golem. Thank you, Barrick. Ugh. We'll take a War Fatigues at this point. Better than nothing. Worth it for the strawberry. Whoa, and another book already. And of course we already have Giant Skeleton. This could be a pretty good pace. Basilisk. Thank you, Smile, for noting this song. So the second soul listed on the book is which enemy you can farm that required soul from. The required souls are found in candles, but if you haven't found one, you can opt instead to farm it from that specific enemy, but it has been randomized too. With these sickle spawns. Spades appears to be very proficient at these boss fights. Very clean. Obviously the little sickle spawns can get you sometimes, but that's just how death is. Has to use a little bit of healing, but we'll be fine. Oops. You know, I thought that was gonna kill too. Yeah, one more hit. Very clean fight overall. Very clean gameplay from Spades in general. Very proficient. An immense amount of progress has been made in these 27 minutes. And there's Undine. Almost a complete fill out on the progression. Still no Gravekeeper. Oh, and there it is. The final book. And it's Skyfish! Wow, that's great. So we're only missing Golem. The routing has been very, very good. And very rewarding. The world is kind of Spades' oyster at the moment, though. We still haven't found garden or top floor, I believe. And still going to need that golem. And we'll see what Spades actually decides to do at this point. It's a little bit unclear. Valmanway in the shop. Shoutouts. Lubricant as well. Opposite buy it. Satan Ring as well. Imagine the luck if Golem was in the shop though. Oh, with Skyfish in there. I didn't even see it. Plenty of money to get pretty good healing though. Yes, we do already have Skyfish. We currently have every required soul except for Golem, which I believe is from... was it Cockatrice? Yes. So, if we can find a garden, we'll be in a good situation for that, but we still have to find top floor as well. Exclamation point garden. Does anybody remember where garden is? Let's see what we get. It's the top floor dead end, of course it is. What else would it be? Oh. And of course, the Satan's Ring after we bought it in the shop. That's a little unlucky. A little super potion. Very clean stairs movement. Lubricant straps, half HP. Nice and painless. Headhunter for our efforts. But where is this gonna bring us? Oh my god. That is amazing. Now we have everything we need. We still have to find top floor and garden, of course, but that is the final soul. Tucked away in a random candle. It's pretty likely that, was that a Velman way out there? It's pretty likely that Spades will locate... Oh no. It's Arena. I think at this point, Spades is probably more focused on finding exactly where we need to go. Their gameplay versus Julius and Chaos was very clean last seed, so I'd expect them to be able to do decently well, even with maybe a little bit of poor equipment and levels. Yeah, even running past all of the chapel checks. Just not interested. And it's forbidden, of course it is. Gonna do these though. Oh, no, just gonna hit the exit. Well, I'm bad at routing this, but I'm pretty sure this narrows things down. But is also still very confusing. I would not know where to go at this moment if I was Spades. Makes sense that you would just go right for the flight lock. That does seem like what Spades might be thinking. Oh? Looks like Spades is going back to the war, maybe? Oh no, they're just gonna hit this right. Vanilla reverse garden? Oh, it's top floor. Well, this is fine. Spades is probably just gonna head up and do Graham now. Zooming. Flash golem. Oof. Getting chunked a little bit. But we'll probably be completely fine on healing this seed. Even if a lot of healing gets used on Julius, I think the shop is pretty okay on healing. Spades deciding to go back and do a little bit of that management now that they are aware of top floor's location, and will most likely just directly lead into Garden shortly after defeating Graham. Spades just double checking to make sure that they have all the required souls, which they do. So no worries there. A little extra manticore there. That would have been very exciting at this point if we didn't already have it since the beginning of the scene. Clean 24 on Graham. But clean gameplay coming out from Spades all the same. Maybe we'll run into a spare Gravekeeper dupe at some point. Maybe in Garden. And you love to see that big damage. Now, yeah, I was gonna say, last race, Spades immediately equipped the required souls upon Graham transitioning, but I would definitely wait with this damage that we're doing. Can probably do like a decent bit more, but... also, just doing more damage this way anyway. And very, honestly, just... Oh. I tried not to say anything. I tried not to say anything because I knew the moment I spoke up about how well they were executing that something might happen, but... I ended up cursing it anyway. Won't be that much of a hindrance, though. It is a bit of a slow fight with the damage that we're doing, but Spades is very, very capable. Oof! Caught on the back of the fireball hitbox there. Oh, taking a lot more damage this time around in phase 1. Hopefully not a big deal. Lubricant strats. Oh, and doesn't have enough MP to even get a single charge of Manticore out there and take some damage as well, but honestly that's probably fine. Well, opts to heal anyway. I'm not sure if they were in lethal hit range or not. If they could have taken another hit or not. But playing safe, it's perfectly okay. All we're aiming to do is finish the seed, of course. And here we go, back to phase 3. Well, the timing was a little bit different there on that Manticore charge. You could have seen a repeat of the last attempt, but Spades is playing very cleanly. Seems like everything will go fine. Oh, nice slide there. Great reaction. And that will finish Graham off. And we'll soon be off to Garden to fight Julius. Maybe we can find some equipment improvement on the way. I saw a Milliken sword. I did not see what the other weapon was. But I'm assuming it is not any better. Or Spades would have equipped it. I was gonna say, we do know that that leads to somewhere we have already been. Oh, that is a long fall. Oh, Yasutsuna. Poison Fist, okay. We're all good, we got Poison Fist. Surely that'll be the weapon of choice. I definitely haven't killed myself several times trying to use Poison Fist. Definitely hasn't happened. And here is, of course, the garden entrance. Was the last place it could be. Oh, is that Gravekeeper? Up there in that little jar. And there it is. We have completed the bingo. No gray squares. And immediately into the Julius fight. Gravekeeper obviously going to be a big help as well, so great to find that immediately. Upon entering Garden. Now this is looking like it'll be a little bit of a slow Julius fight, but if we can get some Manticore timings in, which it seems Spades is completely capable of, then it won't be that bad. Perfectly doable, and Spades is playing really well, of course. Putting on a bit of a show, really. Oh, and almost got the timing there, but getting cancelled and losing a lot of MP. But of course, we have Lubricant, so honestly just beneficial. Intended play. I would even take another hit. One more for the fans. Oh! And big damage from Lubricant. 48. You love to see it. Staying in lethal range as well. You gotta respect it. Should be phasing shortly, I believe. Yep. Healing up for the second phase. So back to a... Oh my gosh, that walkthrough was crazy. Back to 34 damage. Oh! And that was a great pattern. Perfect Manticore timing as well. Oh, ouch. But honestly not a big deal. More damage. Honestly just better. Whoa, they're moving around each other right now. Julius eager to stay alive. And a very nice Julius fight. Very, very clean. And here we go, 53 minutes into the Chaotic Realm. We'll see if Spades is going to grab any of these checks or not, or just head straight to Chaos with the current setup. Completely doable. A little bit tumultuous, but okay, does hit the check. Ignores it if it's a candle. Our soul setup is pretty much perfect as it is. It's looking like this Chaos fight might be a little bit of a slog, but again, I think Spades is definitely capable of defeating it with the current setup. Plenty of healing as well, I believe. Actually opts to take the black belt for the strength bonus. Just to make things a little bit faster. Another... Oh! Okay. Yeah, I guess the defense is actually worth it. Very interesting equipment that we have going into Chaos this seed, actually. And here we go. Let's see. Menu was really fast there, so I actually didn't notice if Spades decided to switch weapons or not there. So I will only know momentarily, and we did, of course. And this is going to be totally workable for Chaos. Oh, was Asafune the other sword that was, besides the Milliken's sword? After Graham? That makes sense. And honestly, it's just really satisfying to watch such clean gameplay on Chaos. And here we go. Phase 2 of Chaos. Coming up on the end of the seed here. We'll see if Spades will be able to... Oh my goodness. Chaos is being very aggressive. Opting for the Yasutsuna. Take down the eyes. And these... Oh my goodness. These patterns are... very, very difficult. The dragon is currently unrelenting on Spades. Oh my goodness, again, right up from the bottom of the screen. That's the hardest one to react to, in my experience. And that is, not the worst thing in the world, due to lubricant. Oh, but now it's getting a little bit scary. We can still take another hit and still be fine, but combo damage is very terrifying against Chaos. And just playing it safe there, at the top of the screen. Waiting for the orb. Oh! And the orb is gonna shoot- Oh, and perfect reactions from Spades there. Wow, that was really, really good. That was... I would have died right there, for sure. We do have enough MP for... We do have enough MP for the Rush Soul, however, we have to defeat the eyes first, and spend the MP on the core, because the ground eyes died pretty easily, so not as much of a priority to spend MP on them. And we'll likely see Spades start using Manticore and MP healing. They're actually opting for 4 eyes, though. Oh, I'm sorry, you said Red Minotaur. I thought you said Manticore. And the Poison Fist comes out, and we're punching. Gets stacked by the orb, but is fine. Honestly, these chaos patterns have been all over the place, and Spades has done a great job getting hit as few times as they have. Oh, it's so hard to hit the orb! Oh, they walked into it trying to punch it with the crouching poison fist. Still keeping it on though, just going for a fantastic finish. Oh, but these orbs are getting very dangerous. Despawned for now, though. And there we go, using the MP healing. Getting the Manticore damage in. And it has been a bit of a grueling chaos fight, but it does seem like Spades is going to be able to succeed here. Oh! Please don't let me... There's so much healing. Please don't let me curse this with combo damage. Wow, very good avoidance there. Now the orbs are back out, and dealing with these with Poison Fist can be very difficult. As we saw before, falling out of the dragon and getting hit by the orb, but... Oh, the combo damage is coming out. Staggering the pauses though, just fine. Oh my goodness, it's getting very... very scary momentarily, but... Had enough healing to tank through it, so things are fine for now. And that's it. 1 hour, 2 minutes, 20 seconds. For Spades, after Kuchiri previously forfeited at F5:45. So congrats to Spades for winning the set. They will move on in the bracket. While Kuchiri will have a second chance in the losers bracket. Great games to both players. That was a fun seed, minus a couple weird things. I always hate having to find Top Floor and Garden at the very end. I hope everybody enjoyed the races today. Again, we will have, hopefully, another race being streamed tomorrow at 7 Eastern. Yeah, of course, Spades is welcome to come and talk about the win. Would love to hear from them. Oh, should I give the invite? I'm not sure how this works. I'm sorry. Should be... Here, I'll send you the this invite link should work, I think. I think this is the right one. Hello, Spade.
Hi.
Congrats on your win.
Oh yeah, that was pretty tough.
What were you thinking in the first game when you didn't have fight for the longest time and you double backed around a couple of checks that you had done already?
Yeah, I was just looking around the whole castle. I'm like, where is Hippogriff? Where is Giant Bat? I just cannot find it.
Yeah, it was I don't know if you saw it was in the one Undine locked room.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and just walked. I think you had it at the time. I think you just walked past it. And it was about a fifth. I think it was like a 15-minute deficit that you made up. Kuchiri had a okay time with Graham, but ended up having to use all of their healing on Julius. So when they went into chaos, uh, once they got there and made a couple mistakes the first time, they ended up opting to try and farm Shadow Knight to level up because they only had a strawberry in their inventory, I think. So
Oh
you
yeah, yeah.
finding Giant Bat at the end there was really just a complete save. Because I don't know about you, but I would never think that like I missed that random Undine check.
Right, right. I don't know. I was just looking through the whole castle. I'm like, it's probably not here, but I might as well check it.
How do you feel about? I feel like you played really well, especially against the late game bosses, like both runs, but especially that second run, that Julius fight was very very clean as well.
Oh yeah, I've been practicing a lot of Julius and Chaos, but Chaos still gives me a little bit of trouble. But I think uh, I think I got Julius down pretty well, and Graham
Yeah,
too.
yeah. I think Chaos 2 can give anybody trouble, you know?
Yeah.
I think your phase one looks extremely clean, even with different setups that you've had. Kuchiri was so you ended up finding what was it? What weapon did you use against Chaos 2? Kuchiri was using Excalibur, um,
For this run or the previous one?
the previous run.
Oh, I think I was just using Durandal like for the core, but I think I was Gungnir
Oh
for
yeah,
the
you were
eyes.
using Gungnir for the eyes and
Yeah.
Durandal at the end for the core. Yeah, and um, yeah, Kuchiri was using Excalibur, and obviously that can be very difficult if you're not used to
Oh yeah.
backdash canceling heavy weapons. And so it was a lot of desperation and a lot of struggle, but it was a very interesting race as a result.
Yeah, I felt like the first one was pretty close, especially with what they told me about they were stuck on Graham and Chaos for a while with no
Yeah,
healing.
it was exciting. It was unfortunate to see that the situation that Kuchiri was stuck in, but
Yeah.
it allowed you to crawl back from what looked it was looking pretty sad for a long time.
Yeah, it was unfortunate, but I mean, what can you do now?
Yeah, but congrats again on your win. Do you know who your next opponent is?
Let me check here. I think I still have the bracket pulled up. Should be Lunix, I believe.
Oh, that sounds like it's going to be a very good race as well.
Well, I'm
I
looking
think
forward
I
to it.
think a lot of the round two races are going to be very good.
Oh yeah, there's quite a stacked competition here from what
I
I
say
see.
that because I think I'm the last round one race, and I do not think that's going to be a good
Oh,
race.
no, you'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Oh my goodness! I was trying to practice today, and I literally got an impossible seed.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I didn't find out until much later. I thought I had just made a mistake, and I sent it to Barracks, and later found out that it was just impossible. So I don't feel as bad.
Wow. Wow. That must be like really rare then.
Barracks says it's the first impossible seed they've seen.
Wow. That's crazy.
But yeah, so congrats, and looking forward to seeing you in the your next race.
Thank you so much. It was nice being here and getting to talk about talk about my run.
Is there anything else you want to talk about before we go?
Well, this last race, I think it went pretty well. At least up to 30 minutes in, and then I could not for the life of me find top floor.
Yeah,
And
it's always annoying when that happens. Right at the end. Linked into
yeah,
garden as well.
yeah, that was pretty lucky. At least that saved me a lot of time trying to find garden at the end. But I had to fight Graham with I think the Durandal,
Hmm.
and that
You were
took a
hitting a
while.
clean 16 at the start.
Yeah.
That was very good.
I was trying to switch between lubricant and golem. Like I don't know if I wanted to go with the lubricant strats, and eventually I just decided I'll just go with golem. It's more consistent.
Yeah, I think it's probably better in the situation when you just need to finish the seed to just play consistent, right? Not
Yeah.
worry too much about doing an extra 16 damage.
And Chaos 2 at the end, I was getting real nervous because I think
You
I
had
was
some
only.
insane avoids. Like some of those patterns. There was this one pattern where everything was stacked, like the orbs were close, and the dragon was curved over the bottom and shooting at an orb, and you like went down perfectly and slid back and forth, and then you drifted. Oh, it was so perfect.
Yeah. If I didn't have slide, that I think that would have been. I would have died at
Oh,
least 3 or 4 times.
that would have been curtains for sure. You also staggered the pauses really well on the combo damage to heal through it.
Oh yeah. And I was getting real nervous at the end when I was just dealing 10 damage to it with poison fist. I was like, why isn't it dead yet? Please, I'm running out of healing.
I didn't think Poison Fist. I don't know. I guess. Do you know what level you were at the end?
I'm not sure. I might have. I
Had
might
to
be
be
able to
around
check.
like 17 or something, right?
I'm just gonna reset and see if I can check real quick. Oh, 14.
Oh my god. Yeah, that's wow. That's pretty rough. But I mean, you pulled it off. Sitting there punching the core for 10 damage. It worked out.
I think that poison fist was my best option, but
Yeah, but it's Poison Fist, so it's.
yeah.
I was really funny when you tried to knock away the bottom right orb, and then you crouch punched and it couldn't hit, and then the orb hit you.
As soon as that happened, I was like, man.
You know it's a good weapon, but you just don't. You just rather it be something else.
It's just not enough range to make up for it, honestly.
Yeah.
It's still
Well,
good, but
it was good. You did great. Well played.
heart is still pounding from the first game.
Well, I mean, I think you kept your composure really well. I think I couldn't imagine. I was saying at the end of the first, not the end, like before you had flight, it must have felt like really desperate at that point, like being unaware of
Yeah,
where you are in the race because you still haven't found flight and you have no idea where Kuchiri is, and it's like, oh,
yeah,
it's coming up on an hour here and it still hasn't thought done. What's going on?
yep. Well, it was my first race, first tournament race and first tournament ever. So
I think you got good prospects. I think you're gonna go far.
hopefully,
Oh yeah, I see Barracks posting your Twitch link. Everybody should follow Saturn Spade on Twitch.
yep, I
Always follow
do.
the runners.
I do some intended percent runs in Dawn, and hopefully maybe some Aria Rando soon. So stay tuned, I guess.
Is there anything else you'd like to add before we go?
I think that's about it.
Okay, sounds good. Well, thanks everybody for joining us for this race. Again, we're gonna have hopefully another race stream tomorrow at 7 Eastern between me and Krunen. Don't know if that has a restream scheduled yet. I don't think it does. But just stay tuned on the SpeedGaming channels and stay tuned for more of the Aria of Sorrow randomizer tournament. And thank you guys so much for watching.